Queen Naya of Kahari was renowned for her breathtaking beauty and the splendor of her kingdom. With skin like polished ebony and eyes that sparkled like the brightest stars, she captivated everyone who crossed her path. Draped in vibrant silks that hugged her form, she commanded attention at royal gatherings and humble village markets alike. Laughter and music seemed to follow her, a sweet melody, in a kingdom that flourished under her rule. Yet beneath these resplendent exterior lay secrets darker than the night. Naya had spent years building her reputation, rising from a royal background that was marred by tragedy. Orphaned as a child when her parents were brutally killed by the king's uncle during a power struggle, Naya's life was irrevocably altered. The loss ignited a fierce desire for revenge that became the driving force behind her every action. Determined to find her place in the world, Naya carefully plotted her way into the royal army, eventually becoming one of King Asem's most trusted commanders. She fought valiantly in battles, her strategic mind earning her respect and admiration. Her rise through the ranks was meteoric. Soon, she became the chief commander of the king's army, a position of power that allowed her to wield influence over the kingdom's affairs. King Asem was a man of integrity and honor, deeply dedicated to his people. His leadership style was transparent and fair, winning the hearts of the villagers. Together, he and Naya had transformed Kahari into a prosperous realm known for its flourishing trade routes and harmonious relations with neighboring lands. He often praised Naya for her military prowess, yet she remained blind to the value he placed on her heart consumed by her dark desires. Despite being made a princess and the potential heir to the throne, since the king had no children, Naya's ambition twisted her view of the world around her. Each commendation from Asem felt like a reminder of what she had lost, of the vengeance that drove her. She could not see the goodness in him or the genuine respect he held for her. Her heart was too full of darkness. It was during a trade festival on the borders of Kahari that Queen Naya first met King Kofi of Zandara. Kofi was a tall, commanding figure with sharp features and a magnetic presence. His kingdom, under his reign, had blossomed from a struggling territory into a powerhouse of trade and military strength. Zandara was known for its golden fields, rich mines, and fierce warriors. Kofi was shrewd and ambitious, mastering the art of diplomacy while secretly plotting to dethrone weaker rulers. As Naya wandered through the festival, captivated by the vibrant displays, Kofi approached her with smooth confidence. "Those jewels pale in comparison to the radiance you bring to this festival, Your Majesty," he remarked, his voice rich and persuasive. Startled, Naya turned to face him, curiosity piqued. "And you are?" she asked, arching an eyebrow. "Kofi, King of Zandara," he replied, bowing slightly, his eyes locked onto hers. "I've heard tales of your beauty and grace, but seeing you in person is truly enchanting." Naya, intrigued by his boldness, engaged in conversation. Kofi seamlessly transitioned from flattery to business, discussing the potential benefits of their kingdoms collaborating. Imagine Queen Naya, the treasures of Kahari combined with the resources of Zandara. Together, we could dominate the trade routes and ensure our peoples thrive, he proposed, his words weaving dreams of power and abundance. As the sun set on their first meeting, Naya found herself drawn into Kofi's vision. Kofi skillfully gained her trust, forging a bond that would lead her down a path of betrayal. They met in secret, cloaked in the shadows of the lush forests that bordered their kingdoms, and plotted all they would do. They arranged a second meeting a fortnight from the first. In their second meeting, Kofi sought to solidify Naya's loyalty by painting a vivid picture of their future together. They convened deep in the forest, surrounded by the rich scent of earth and foliage. The sun filtered through the leaves, casting dappled light upon them as they sat on a soft carpet of grass. "My dear Naya," Kofi began, his voice low and smooth. "Imagine a kingdom where your beauty and wisdom reign supreme. Together we will not only conquer Kahari, but also expand our empire to the lands beyond. You will be known as the queen of not one, but two great kingdoms." Naya leaned in, captivated. "What do you propose?" Kofi's eyes sparkled with ambition. "We will stage the greatest festival Kahari has ever seen, a celebration of unity. As the festivities begin, we will strike. My forces will infiltrate the palace, and at the peak of the celebration, you will reveal your true allegiance. Your subjects will be too enthralled by the festivities to resist our takeover." He paused, allowing the weight of his words to sink in. "After the coup, we shall rule side by side, using our combined strengths to create a legacy that will be remembered for generations. Think of the wealth we will gather, the power we will hold. You shall have everything you ever desired, and more." Naya's heart raced with excitement. "And King Assem?" she asked, though deep down she was entranced by the vision Kofi painted before her. "He will be dealt with swiftly. He trusts you, Naya, and that will be his downfall. Once he is gone, the kingdom will fall into our hands, and you will be free to reign without opposition," Kofi assured her, his tone confident. As the festival approached, Kofi and Naya finalized their plans. On the day of the treachery, Kahari would be adorned with vibrant colors, filled with laughter and music. Villagers would gather in the palace courtyard, blissfully unaware of the impending doom. The plan was set. During the height of the festivities, as the sun bathed the kingdom in golden light, Kofi's soldiers would make their move. They would infiltrate the palace disguised as guests. Blending in seamlessly, Naya would keep the crowd entertained. And when the moment came, she would give the signal. But unknown to Naya, King Assem had been observing the subtle changes around him since that first dinner between their two kingdoms. As a wise ruler, he had sensed something amiss after the vibrant celebration. His instincts tingled with unease, and he began to pay closer attention to Naya and the kingdom of Zandara. Assem noticed the way Naya's demeanor shifted when Kofi was near, how her laughter held a different tone. He began to gather information about Kofi and the kingdom's activities, enlisting the help of loyal subjects to keep watch. The more he learned, the clearer it became. Kofi was not merely a friend, but a calculated threat. On the night before the festival, Assem approached Naya, his voice low and filled with concern. "My friend, I have sensed something strange between you and King Kofi. Are you certain of his intentions?" Naya, feeling the weight of her deceit, feigned innocence. "He is merely a guest, my dear commander. We are strengthening our bonds." Assem's eyes searched hers, seeking the truth. "Be cautious, Naya. Not all who smile at us are our friends. I worry for you." His words hung heavily in the air, but Naya brushed aside his concerns. The day of the festival dawned bright and beautiful, and as the celebration began, the atmosphere buzzed with joy. It was time to execute their plan. But in the midst of the merriment, Kofi's treachery revealed itself. Just as the sun reached its zenith, he signaled his soldiers, and chaos erupted. Assem, caught off guard, fought valiantly to defend his kingdom, but the element of surprise tipped the scales in Kofi's favor. In the thick of the battle, Naya's heart sank. Kofi turned on her, revealing his true colors. "You are merely a pawn in my game, Naya," he sneered, his betrayal cutting deeper than any blade. As she was captured and led away, Naya's world shattered. Stripped of her title and riches, she was dragged from her beloved Kahari, a mere shadow of the queen she once was. The laughter of her people faded into distant echoes, replaced by the haunting reality of her choices. In her darkest hour, Queen Naya was forced to confront the woman she had become. A queen lost to her own desires,